Yes.
So then it says, we are now on verse number 58. Okay. So he says that Yada sangrayate chayam kurvangani sarvasha indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratisthita. Now this is something which we need to understand. So because it has got two lines, so I am going to explain these two lines differently or separately. It says that, have you seen tortoise? Tortoise, what does it do? When you attack a tortoise, then the tortoise retreat into its shell. Okay. So when when you are attacked by the by the world, or by your mind, or by the objects of the senses, so you also need to retreat. Now here he says one thing: indriyani indriyarthebhya tasya pragya pratisthita. This line is something which we need to explain very very elaborately. Okay. So now you say this in Spanish, whatever I said now, and then we are going to discuss about this particular line: indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratisthita. After the first thing that he said, that when you attack a tortoise, the way he retreats within his shell, in the same way you need to retreat your senses from the sense objects. Now this is a trick, how to retreat the senses from the sense objects. So this we are going to talk next. So just translate this one, and then we are going to speak about it in an elaborate way. Thank you.
Ahora habla del verso 58. Habla de que si has visto alguna vez una tortuga, cuando atacas a una tortuga, ella se retira al cascarón. Igual tú debes hacer lo mismo. Cuando tú te sientes atraído por el mundo, te sientes atraído por la mente, por los objetos de los sentidos de la mente, también necesitas realmente retraer tus sentidos. Y esta Lilia la va a explicar más elaboradamente a continuación. Okay.
Done.
Yes.
Okay. So now he says, indriyani indriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratisthita. Now there are two things. One is indriyani. Indriyani means our five senses. Okay, we have five senses. Five senses of perception. So these are eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. So these are the five senses. Now these five senses have five sense or objects. Like the eyes has got a separate sense object. The eyes can only perceive form. So the sense object for eyes is form. Okay. Now ears, they cannot see form. They cannot perceive taste or smell or touch, but they can perceive sound. So the sense objects for ears is sound. So now we have two sense objects. One is form and the other is sound. Now then we have this nose. Nose can smell. Nose cannot see. Nose cannot hear. Nose cannot touch. Nose cannot taste, but it can smell. So the sense organ for nose, a sense object for nose is smell. So now we have three sense objects: form, sound, and smell. Then we have this tongue. So with this tongue we taste. So taste is also a sense object. Okay, and skin is a sense. So with skin we can feel the touch. So touch. So these are the 5 sense objects: form, sound, okay, smell, taste, and touch. Now, when the senses comes in contact with these sense objects, that is when, it creates happiness and sorrow. That is what we have studied earlier. It says, Matra sparshastu konteya shitoshna sukha dukhada. When your sense objects comes in contact with the sense objects, that is when it creates happiness and sorrow. So when it creates happiness, you get attached to happiness. When it creates sorrow, you become demoralized. You become demoralized. You become unhappy. Okay. So here is also the same thing. My senses and the sense objects. So when the senses are connected with the sense objects, then it starts to create a world. Then it starts to create a world. And, then, I run after that. Because the sense objects, the senses, my eyes came in contact with the form. And when it came in contact with the form, what it will do is, it will just, bring the form into the mind. And then this mind, has this form. And then the mind wants to have this form, attain this form. And then it goes outside. Okay. So, the only way by which we need to, we can be free from this world is when we can, we can, disconnect our connection with the senses and the sense organs, senses and the sense objects. But how it is possible? Okay, it's very important. It says, Indriyani indriyathebhyas tasya pragya prajna. One whose senses are not in contact with the sense objects, this person's wisdom is steadfast. Now, how it is possible for the senses not to come in contact with the sense objects? When I'm opening my eyes, my eyes is seeing everything. So how is it possible for my eyes to not get connected with anything that it sees? So this is the thing. This is all about spirituality. So now you explain whatever I said now, and then we are going to start from there. Okay. So let's approach this step by step.
Ok. Dice Swamiji, Indriyani, vamos al siguiente verso, dice Indriyani. Dice, aquí habla de los 5 sentidos de la percepción. Los 5 sentidos de la percepción son ojos, nariz, orejas, piel y lengua, ¿cierto? Estos son los 5 sentidos. Y cada sentido tiene su objeto que percibe. Los ojos perciben la forma. Entonces, el objeto que los ojos perciben es la forma. No pueden los ojos percibir el sonido. Los ojos perciben la forma. Las orejas pueden percibir el sonido. Este es el objeto de percepción de las orejas. La nariz percibe el olor. La piel percibe, el objeto percibido de la piel es el tacto y el objeto percibido de la lengua es el gusto. Entonces dice que cuando los sentidos entran en contacto con los objetos de los sentidos, con el objeto percibido por ese sentido, entonces crea la felicidad o la tristeza. Cuando hay un apego es esa alegría, cuando hay ese huir, ese rechazo, ese bajón es la tristeza. Entonces es cuando entran en contacto los sentidos con los objetos de los sentidos que crean esta felicidad o esta tristeza. Cuando se conectan los sentidos con los objetos, empiezan a crear el mundo y entonces la mente quiere correr detrás de ese mundo. Los ojos conectan con la forma. Entonces, traen esa forma a la mente y la mente quiere esa forma, corre detrás de la forma y va afuera. Entonces el Gita dice que la única forma, Krishna dice que la única forma que puedes liberarte de este mundo es desconectar, es no conectar los sentidos con los objetos de los sentidos. ¿Cómo es posible esto? ¿Cómo es posible que el sentido no se conecte al objeto? Aquel que no tiene esta conexión, no conecta el sentido con el objeto, está establecido en la sabiduría. Ahora, ¿cómo es posible que los ojos no tengan conexión con la forma percibida? Ahora es de lo que nos va a hablar Swamiji. Ok.